evening. My name is Sarah Tisdale, and I am so excited to welcome all of you to this launch event for Outside Lit Magazine, issue number 8. And on behalf of the Outside Lit Mag staff team, I'd like to thank you for coming, but also most importantly, our student contributors and editors. Without them, obviously, we couldn't be doing this. And if you don't know, Outside Lit Mag is a student-run, student-led literary magazine for and by St. Louis Public School high school students with the support of St. Louis Poetry Center. And obviously, it's a time and a place where kids get to have hands-on experience with publishing, event planning such as this, gallery work. Everybody installed all of these things. Bookbinding, there's just so many different aspects to it, but also it is a safe space to share and write and learn. But with that being, So it's a space where students not only get to learn, but it's also a safe space. So with that, I'd like to give you a word about this issue in particular. The world is a trying place, and as such, this issue is filled with work examining those things. We are proud of what these students have brought to the table. The works are deeply personal and discuss love, loss, resilience, resistance, bodily autonomy, joy, violence, freedom, consumerism, aesthetics, and art for the sake of art. Please note that several entries within this engage with sensitive content, including anti-Black racism, colorism, loss, and gun violence, and the latter subject will be preceded by a full-on trigger warning. So with that, I'd like to thank you all again, and here is Steph.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone feeling? Okay. My name is Stephanie Carlin, and as your host, as the member of the Outside Lit, I would like to extend a warm welcome and thank you for joining us in this issue today. So, we are gathered here tonight to celebrate the work of our contributors, their creativity and willingness to share what moves them to make this work possible. So, without further ado, help me welcome our first reader, Jayana Sculvers. She will be reading Microdosing and Big Bad Black Girl.
A little short, here we go. Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
My name is Shayana. Some of you know me, some of you don't. This is, I believe, my 4th year at Outside Lit, and probably my last year since I graduated. Woo! I'm going to be continuing my trend of writing about racism and anti-Blackness. So, without further ado, this is microdosing. Microdosing. I like your hair today. It looks so neat. It's so nice. Has it always been that long? Is it real? You should wear it like that more often. Are you mixed? How'd you get it so silky? You look so pretty. Today. Only today. Microdosing. The action or practice of taking very small amounts of a drug in order to test it. Psychological action. Google to find. Diet racism, saying things that make my eyes twitch slightly at the implications, but I cannot call you out on it because I can't take a compliment. I'm creating a problem. I'm being aggressive. I'm difficult. I'm the problem and not you. And you don't know any better, so I just smile and say, thank you so much. I tried. Yes, it has. Thanks for noticing. Yes, it is real. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. No, I'm not mixed. It's called silk press. Thank you so much. By microdosing your racism, you protect yourself and leave little Black kids vulnerable to the psychological effects. Because the children are told we were brought on a boat and we struggled. Then Harriet said no and Abraham Lincoln freed us. Then mean white people were mean and they showed it. Mean white people didn't let us go where we wanted and would sometimes hurt us and we struggled. Then Martin had a dream and we were okay. We are okay. It's all okay. The Black kids learned early on that racism is not in black and white. Black babies' first racism is a hands-on experience. Mommy and daddy had to explain why the Black teenager had to die and what the rules were if mommy and daddy ever got pulled over. The white kids will learn later. The white kids are too precious. They don't know the world is evil. They need hope. They'll learn when they grow up. And so they grow up saying things like, I like your hair today. It looks so neat. It's nice. Has it always been that long? Is it real? You should wear it like that more often. Are you mixed? How'd you get it so silky? You look so pretty. Today. Only today. And the Black kids are taught to respond with kind smiles and bright tones. Thank you so much. I tried. Yes, it has. Thank you for noticing. Yes, it is real. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. No, I'm not mixed. It's called a silk press. Thank you so much. The train continues. This is the big black girl. Who could be scared of me? My baby face and chubby cheeks. Even at my tallest, I don't reach 5'3". So I ask you again, who could be scared of me? I smile at everyone when I pass them. I wave. If there's ever a crowd where I stick out like a mass among the storm clouds. Sorry. I smile at everyone when I pass them. I wave. If there's ever a crowd where I stick out like a mass of white among storm clouds, then I am always sure to act the right way. I was not raised a fool. I know exactly how it is. My mistakes are dangerous. The way I speak ignites panic. My passion can never be too passionate. I'm bitter if I show the slightest hint of disinterest. Everything I do reflects on my mother, my grandmother, my cousins, my neighbors, women halfway across the world who I'll never meet. But what's so scary is they represent me. People are scared of us, and I don't know how that could be. With my baby face and my chubby cheeks, even at my mightiest, I can't reach 5'3". So I asked my mother, who could be scared of me? My mother said, they're scared of your intelligence. It threatens their previous notions. She told me they're scared of your beauty. They know something they'll never achieve. She warned they're scared of your success. They know you'll inspire and others will follow your lead. But most of all, they're afraid of that spark in my eyes, the way I signify persistence, my heart, my unwavering attitude, my resistance. To them, I'm a walking contradiction. To me, I'm the definition of perfection. I can give them something to fear. They will know I am not the exception. I am exceptional. My voice cannot be pulled to fit into a box of what's acceptable. You will not accept me as one of you. I am not yours. I proudly represent my people. And I ask you, who wouldn't be afraid of me? The beauty I carry in this baby face and these chubby cheeks, how I stand as tall as a mighty oak at barely 5'3". The way I speak with passion and bear my emotions on my sleeve. Despite the mistakes I make, I continue to sway confidently. My goals are not only high, but I constantly succeed. So ask yourself, should you be afraid of me?
Let's thank Jayana again. Before we continue, I would like to provide you with a trigger warning. Our next piece is about the October 24th school shooting. It contains discussion about gun violence, PTSD, and death. So, as of such, if you think it will be detrimental to your well-being, please feel free to step outside momentarily now or at any point, and you will be notified after it as well. Thank you. Now we will read Be Quiet Run by Kavion Key. It will be read by Sarah Tinsley.
Be quiet, run. Days like this are always the most unexpected. It was October 24th, 2022, the day that would change my life forever. This day felt like a normal day. I woke up, did my morning routine, got dressed, and went to school. So blind, naive to the world and what the people in it are capable of. I arrived to school, Next, open your bag and pass through, said the morning security officer. Beep, 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 beep. Empty your pockets, said the security officer, as the metal detectors beep when I walk through. It's my phone. Okay, you're good to go. Only if I would have taken the beeping as a sign to turn around and go home, I wouldn't be facing such a trauma that may never leave. Maybe I wouldn't have witnessed what I witnessed. I make it to my first period class and sit. I text my friend, "Are you coming to school today?" "Yeah, coming down now." 3 seconds later, I see my friend come through the door. We talk about the basics that usually consist of planning things to do and how, and how life's been treating us. We talk and talk until I feel the sudden urge to go to the bathroom. "Wait," my friend said. Little did I know that simple 4-letter word just saved my life. And all I can fathom to think about is the what ifs. What if I had ignored my friend? What if I had kept walking? What if my friend's mind simply went blank? What if I didn't hear him? What if? I sat back down to listen to what my friend had to say. Then, 10 seconds later, we hear a strange boom, thud, and scream echo through the halls. "What was that?" my classmates said collectively. "Buzz." It was the intercom that I didn't know at the time that would be the sound that traumatizes me forever. "Attention all staff and students. No student should be in the hall during this time. Teachers, lock your doors. This is not a drill. Mr. Wyman is in the building." Mr. Wyman is code for intruder, so my classmates and I instantly jumped to a defense as if we were in the military going to war. It's honestly quite sad that we are trained this way in American schools. Kids who have to go to school with the mindset of surviving the school day, not knowing if the drop off the line will be the last time they see their parents. A place that's supposed to be safe is a spot to place of war and grief. Instantly, I text my mother, "Call 911, there's an intruder, we're under lockdown." I put my phone in my pocket. Me and my friend exchanged looks of frightened despair. All I can remember is the intense feeling of kill or be killed mindset that came over me. My school was the prey and the gunman was the predator, so I was ready to attack if it came down to it. I continued to text my mom as she zips through traffic to get to me. While doing so, I hear a squad of police cars and sirens pull up. "Get down, drop your weapon." In that moment, I knew the situation was far more serious. As me and my classmates are huddled in the corner, we hear the sound of lightweight shoes running towards the downstairs with the following of heavy work boots came closer to the door. "This is the police. I want you to run out with your hands up." We all line up by the door. I count down the seconds it took to open the door. 3, 2, 1. When I got to 1, I took off through the door as if I was running for a gold medal, but instead I was running for my life. As I run down the hall, I see SWAT teams with long guns, something I thought I would never see up close. And then I see her. On the floor at the end of the hall, I slow down in shock, seeing the blood puzzled me. I continued out the bottom door, then realized what happened, as if I had just come from a blackout. Then I started hyperventilating. I'm in panic attack mode, so I call my mother to calm me down and see where she was. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. All the streets surrounding your school are blocked off. I'm in the Schnucks parking lot. Here I come. As I look around, I see the sadness in the eyes of all my peers and see the complete heartbreak in others. We are all now in a Schnucks parking lot waiting for our parents, but the police decided to try and make kids stay and tell them any details that might have happened that they remember. And all I could remember was how mad I was when they asked that. All I could remember thinking was why they asked so soon. After consoling others, not even worrying about myself, I see my mother dashing through the parking lot, coming to my rescue. When I see her, I told my friend and started running to her car. I ran to my mother and wanted so badly to jump into her arms. This is the happiest I've ever been to see my mother, and I mean ever. It's crazy how a normal day can turn into a very traumatic one within the span of 30 minutes. Me and my mother then go to drop off my friend and pick up my sister. Shortly after we retrieved my sister from her school, we head home. When we arrived, I felt a sharp pain shoot through my chest. It was guilt. Guilty for what? Guilty for being the one that was able to go back home? Guilty to be the one held in my mama's arms? Guilty of being alive, the guilt of survival. Sometimes even still, as I sit here typing this line, I wonder why me? Why was I picked? What makes me special? I'm very grateful to be safe, but why couldn't everyone be safe? Why can't everyone be with their families? Why did we have to lose anyone? Why? People always talk about how much of a drug and disease love is, but no one ever seems to talk about how much of a blessing and a curse it is to think, especially when you're like me and overthink so much to the point you find yourself drifting away. Stuck in an endless void of thoughts, and it hurts even more when the problem is out of your control. Survivor's guilt isn't survivor's guilt isn't only the guilt of making out of a situation that others didn't. It's also the guilt of knowing that you have the opportunity to move on from the guilt, of knowing one day the feeling will fade and the person will soon become a distant memory that will be buried in the depths of your mind naturally because of your own selfishness, not wanting to relive those moments. But is it really selfish to not want to relive those moments? Am I wrong for putting my feelings before someone else? There I go again, overthinking, clouding my brain, throwing a bunch of words together in the hopes that it makes sense, in hopes of my feelings to be felt through the passage and expressed to the audience to really understand how I feel. But honestly, wouldn't that itself be selfish? Some of you may be thinking, why would he want to share his dark thoughts with others? Why would he want his audience to feel that? Well, how else would you understand the great deal of guilt and relief I feel? How else would you be able to understand how one can feel both of those same feelings at the same time? But my main purpose is for one to truly understand how something so complex can happen and end so fast, how something that started so fast can end. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Louise reading The Dogs That Cry by Teresa Parrish.
The Dogs That Cry. To my old best friend, after honey straightens the thrill of loneliness. I remember precisely the day I held you in my shaking hands, with all the might my 7-year-old heart could muster. The spring sun kissed my skin as if to try to calm me and held us both in an embrace. But even then, my nerves would not subdue. I was taught to be wary of dogs, to avoid their violent ways. But here you were, completely challenging my beliefs. Small and wrapped in a rough white towel, staring up at me with confused eyes. I am as scared as you are, I thought. You made an attempt to free yourself from my childish grasp, and I let you go, without any warning. I was 10, and awkwardly, I grew as much as you did. Your growth startled me, and whenever I'd watch you from afar, I'd ask myself what was done to allow you to age so quickly. And I still never really understood you. You'd run unexpectedly towards me, toward anyone who approached you, excited to meet the world. You were fearless. You'd run near my presence, and I would shrink back into my comfort. Not me. I'm still as scared as I used to be, I thought, and I let you go. The summer starting my teenage years, I was asked to take care of you. I'd be there, sitting on the concrete step I once stood to hold you on. But times were different, and so were we. So I'd cry about everything, and you'd lay your head in my lap and sleep. I met your tired eyes and noticed the way time seemed to show itself on your body. You no longer ran after the unknown. You rather found yourself content with sitting and watching the day go by. You did this more and more, and I became fearful. I'm as scared as you are, I thought. Life is making its attempt to take you from my arms, and I couldn't let you go. So when I hear the dogs of the city cry at this time of night, I imagine a distant world that could have been. A time where I was not afraid. I am not scared, I would think. And you'd make your attempt, but I'd hold you tighter, and I wouldn't let you go.
Okay, next up, we are excited to welcome Lily Wisdom Woodworth, a recent Metro High School grad, and former Outside Lit Mag editor who has been featured over the last 4 issues. Closing out our reading portion in our evening, please welcome Lily Wordsworth, reading Underage Sex and the Age of Abortion from her collection 17.
I am Lily Woodworth Wisdom, and this is Underage Sex in the Time of Banned Abortion. I put all my eggs into one basket. I ask my sister, what is it like to make love? She tells me sex ain't the same thing as making love, baby. It hurts and you tell me it's good. And I think you like my pain because you want to see it replicated. A sign of my purity is that you can make me bleed. I woke up one morning and found myself a woman. The clothes in my closet were still child-sized. When I pass the mirror, my body doesn't look like my own. I float around, I feel like a corpse, but there's a life inside of me that isn't mine. You go and sweat ecstasy on the dance floor, but nothing compares to that rush, the taste of metal on your tongue. You call me after and you're drunk and say, I'm just trying to protect my future. Anger burns my house down. I say a man will always be a man, even if he's a good one. And crying, tilted, my mother says, I know, I know. Even when arms surround me and something inside of me kicks and reaches out, I feel alone. The thing about this summer is that it can never end. When the chill hits the air, I start to dream of blood, of expelling things from my body, of vomit and discharge, spreading my legs white for cold metal. When I was young, my dog died buried in the snow, so what was I supposed to think besides it's a cruel world? Maybe religion only comes when you're dead. I find God in a public bathroom with my knees to my chest. It's sick, but I want to cry out. This loss only makes me feel lighter. I'm wiping blood out of every crevice of my body, and it's not even working because the dogs keep coming.
We sincerely appreciate your presence here tonight, and thank you once again to our contributors and you all for supporting us. Lastly, Sarah will close the show with our special thanks to our supporters.
I'm back. And there's just one last thing, actually a couple of things. First, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our partners that make this event and magazine possible so that we can share the magic with you every year. So Outside Lit Mag is a program of the St. Louis Poetry Center. It's published through Central Print. And our supporters, our funders are the Psy Foundation, Wolf Loris Fund, Boeing ECF, and the Trio Foundation of St. Louis. And I would also like to give a special shout out thanks to Miss Halma. Can you come up, please? Absolutely, please, yes. This woman has been, I want to say, like a wrangler and a cheerleader and absolutely everything that we've needed her to be over the last 2 years. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I don't have time to explain all of the ways in which she has supported us and the students, and I just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we also have our spoiler reader up and running, so please, please, please buy a magazine.
They're really cool.
They are really cool.
All the kids made the covers.
Yes, and hopefully if you check out our Outside Lit Mag Instagram, you will see photos of the kids in action doing the printing, which is very